Hey, you just try that.
Do you want a translator for Sex on the Super League when they go on next? Or?
Yeah, I think we need to translate, right?
Okay.
Or I can translate. I can translate. Yeah, I'll translate.
Welcome to the 1168 Denver post-event press conference. At the podium we have one chairman and CEO, Chatri Sityodtong. And joining Chatri on stage now is Liam Harrison and Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. Now we're going to open it up to questions from the media. Anyone have the first question?
Hi guys, Nick Atkin, Bangkok Post. Demetrious Johnson, what a way to go out. How long have you been planning this? Did you know that Denver was going to be the moment that you announced your retirement, and how emotional was that reception you got, standing ovation here?
I knew, well, you never truly know, I feel like. For me, I was going to do it kind of silently, but you know, after talking to Chatri, talking to my wife, they're like, you know, it's not always about you, it's about your fans, and I'm grateful I did it the way I did, right? I think, you know, the package that One Championship and Chatri put together was absolutely amazing. I did not intend on getting emotional, and I knew after I fought Adriano the third time, after I did the press conference, I had my kids and I was walking, I was like, damn, is this what my life is right here? Like, is this it? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a year off, keep on training, and then see if I miss it, because I don't want to be the athlete who just retires and then I'm back home and I'm training. I'm like, oh man, I wish I didn't retire. I wish I want to come back and fight, and then come back and out of retirement and fight again. So I made it upon myself. My New Year's resolution this year was like, I'm gonna force myself not to fight. Like, I need to start using my brain, my intellect, my charisma, my creativity to start making money and build on my brand. And I was sitting at home, I was like, you know what, I don't miss it. Like, it's a young man's game, I'm 38 years old, I'm spending time with my kids, my wife, and I just knew this was the right time to do it.
And this one's for Liam as well. Did you know you were going to retire, or was that a split-second decision in the heat of the moment after the loss? Talk me through. You laid the gloves down and then left the cage. Seemed to come back. Were you hoping to get a speech in there, or did you not want to take away?
No, actually, he was supposed to have an interview. That was part of the, you know. Actually, we were surprised that he retired, because that wasn't part. And then immediately the production team said, get him an interview. But I don't know. I think his team took him out of the cage.
No, the ringside, the cage guy just took me. Not working.
No, it's not working. The mic's not working. I get another mic for him.
Yeah, the commission guy, he just told me to get out of the cage, so I just got out. I thought to myself going into it, I'm 38, I've been out a long time, I've been injured. If I come back and I'd have won that fight, I didn't see how I could lose that fight. I was so sure I was going to win. But that, honestly, his body needs fucking donating to science. He's a Terminator, that guy, honestly. So I said to him after the fight as well, I said, did you feel the altitude? He said, no. He said, you mean with a body shot? I said, well, with a body shot, it didn't look like it. Honestly, what a guy. But I honestly still thought I was going to win this fight. I didn't see anything past winning and winning in style. And I thought to myself, I can't get through this one. Then the thing is, in my 20s, I had a rock solid chin. I stood toe to toe with Anawat, the hardest puncher of this era, and I beat him. I took Prime Sanchez right to the wire in an amazing fight, and had a great fight with him, and took all the best shots. I fought all the heaviest punchers from around Europe, and I could walk through the shots when I was in my prime and I was a bit younger. When you've got these little gloves on and stuff like that, I can't take the damage that I could take when I was still in my 20s and my prime, and it's just a shame that one championship came for me when I was already in my mid-30s to my late 30s, which is devastating really, because I think if it had got me when I was in my prime, when I was beating Anawat, and smashing out Europeans and knocking out all the ties. I think I really could have been one of the biggest stars and a big name like Rod Tang and Superlek and them guys, but it is what it is. I'm so grateful that I just had the chance, even though I didn't win tonight, just the chance to have the crazy fights like the Muay Thai fight, the Rod Leg fight, and this fight tonight, even though I didn't win, I've still, the thing what I've still got in abundance, I've still got my heart. It's just that my body's just failing me, I'm getting injured, I'm getting knocked down with shots that won't knock me down anymore. And it's devastating, but it's father time, do you know what I mean? I'm 39 next week. Oh wait, in 3 weeks. I'm 39, and then I look at guys like in the prime, like Nico Carrillo and then Superlek, and how the fuck could I beat them guys now? Do you know what I mean? The level of competition here is unbelievable. It's the best of the best. And it's just a shame that the father time is catching up with me a little bit. And like I said, I'm gutted, but what you meant to do, there's only so much your body can go through. I've had 120 professional fights, and the way I fight, I go to war, and that's how I want to fight. People want to pay money to watch the Hitman. They don't want a watered down version of what I'll have to give them now. No one's going to want to see that, do you know what I mean? So that's why I laid the gloves down, because I just thought it's just this time. I'm like I said, I'm so grateful to Chat Room One Championship that I got the chance to be on this amazing stage. Even though at the back end of my career, it was still an amazing ride.
And Chatri, you inducted, yeah, let's give him that. You inducted Demetrious into the Hall of Fame, the first ever inductee. Can you give us some details on this Hall of Fame? Will there be a yearly ceremony? How often will people be inducted?
It's going to be on an as-deserved basis, but yes, there will be a Hall of Fame ceremony and all that stuff. You know, this thing, DJ called me 9 months ago, 10 months ago to talk, and he's like, hey, Chatri, I want to do the gi, I want to compete in the gi. And I was like, wow, that's so weird. Like, you know, that's a weird request. I might have been in there a year ago, I don't remember. But of course, I was like, yeah, go ahead, you know? And then I'd asked Hume, our you know, head matchmaker, hey, when is DJ fighting? Let's get him a fight, you know, let's get him a big fight, but whatever. And I could see DJ was really enjoying the gi game and training and all that stuff and competing, and then obviously won the brown belt worlds. So we kind of knew it. So then I think maybe 6 months ago, DJ said, hey, Chacha, I think this is it for me. And then our marketing team, our phenomenal marketing team got you know ball rolling. And we said we want to do it, you know, in a special way and do the greatest martial artist of all time. You know, come out with a beautiful moving video, highlighting some of his big achievements, and then have him, you know, say goodbye to the fans on live broadcast to 195 countries. You know, I agree with DJ. The fans, as much as it was DJ's moment, it was also the fans' moment to say goodbye to DJ, you know? People were very emotional. I mean, it was crazy because I was cage side and all of us were crying. I was standing next to Matt Hume, Enzo Gracie, all these guys, and we were all in tears. It was so moving, you know. And DJ's speech was also very moving, right? You know, it was, I think I've never heard him speak so high-pitched before. So, but you know, we wanted to make it a magical memory. That's something we always talk about at One is, of course, we're the greatest fighters on the planet, like Liam and like DJ, the world's best of the best. But one of our ethos is we want to create magical moments that last a lifetime for our fans. And watching DJ retire the way he did is just, you know, and watching Liam retire, even though he didn't get the win, you know, it still goes down as one of the greatest strikers to have ever lived. So, yeah, we hope that tonight was a magical memory for everyone with their families and their kids. You saw a lot of kids in the audience. Yeah.
Right over here. First off, question for Demetrious Johnson. Do you have any relief, like a sigh of relief, now that you officially announced your retirement, so you can move on to that next chapter without continuing to be asked, what's next, when are you fighting again?
A little bit. I kind of knew already that I was already in that next former chapter in my life. You know, don't get me wrong, like, I know I'm going to miss it, because I know I can still fight, but because of a point in time where the athlete just gotta, I'm done. Like, I don't want to stay too long at the party. I just want to enjoy what I've done and walk away. And I've talked to a lot of guys. GSP was another one who was like, dude, there's always gonna be another guy. There's always gonna be another guy. And that's why he retired. You know, Uriah Faber, he was like, dude, we want to get a short amount of time in our life where we could be a professional athlete and fight at the highest level. So it was pretty hard, but I am relieved to be able to, you know, say I'm finally done. I'm still going to compete in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Hopefully one day, maybe if my no-gi game gets good enough, maybe in the circle, we'll see. And I'm happy that now that the flyweight division can move on, now that Chatri, the matchmakers, can start like putting together the next, you know, flyweight championship, Adriano, and I think it's Danny King that are fighting next. So the division move on.
Yeah, that was one of the things, you know, out of respect to DJ, even though we knew this months ago, we decided, you know, not make the title vacant or whatever, and we did hold up the division, so I'm sorry to all the flyweights, but now you kind of understand why we slowed this flyweight division down, because we wanted to give DJ the most beautiful, you know, moment out. But he'll still be part of one. He'll still be part of one. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that was one of the questions I was going to ask you, Chatri, is there now a room for Demetrious to step into maybe some sort of executive role and kind of help build the future?
The way DJ and I have talked about it, so like, we don't know how the future is going to unfold, but I said, DJ, I want you part of the team. Whether it's just a brand ambassador, whether he decides he wants to be a VP, I think he brings a lot of IP. Now, he's obviously a phenomenal business too, but you know, he's been building his brand with his podcast and stuff, and he's just a very smart, high IQ person, so he's capable of many things. But I just thought, let's see, he and I will sit down and talk about it later and figure out, but we definitely, I think, both of us are aligned in that we want to work together in some capacity.
And my next question is for Liam. It seemed like the last knockdown, it looked like, from our perspective, that it was a hit to the back of the head. Did you feel that or see that in the replay at all? And would you have liked it to maybe get a warning for that and the fight continue?
Yeah, 100% to back ahead, but I was absolutely fucked, so it didn't matter. I didn't know what and to be fair, at that point, a fucking gust of wind and knocked me on my ass, you know what I mean? They were absolutely spangled, so it was back of the head, but it would have caught me again at some point because I were all over the place and I was just in autopilot, swinging around trying to catch him. But to no avail because the guy's got an absolute brick chin, so what are you going to do?
And I just had a couple more for you, Chatri. First, Shamil Erdogan, I don't really think we've seen somebody dominate on Law like that, so is a title shot next for him, and what would be a time frame for that considering Anatoly has so many future plans?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think people know Shamil. He's Dagestani, born and raised, you know, Russian national wrestling team. He's an absolute beast, and obviously undefeated in MMA, 10-0. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was a world champion in wrestling, but also he defeated Anatoly in wrestling way back when they were on the national circuit in Russia. So there's an intriguing backstory for sure. I really don't know. I haven't talked to Matt Hume and the matchmaking team. I would love to get their thoughts, but Shamil looked unbelievable tonight. I mean, because you're right, no one has dominated Anla that way. I mean, it just looked like there were two different levels, you know? No disrespect to Anla, because obviously he's a legend in the sport. But I talked to him earlier this week, and Anla said, Chatri, you're going to see the best version of me. I'm confident. I'm ready to go. You know, he thought he was going to get the knockout for sure.
Hey Chatri, Julian with Fight House Media here. I happened to notice that Scott Coker was in attendance to the weigh-ins and face-offs yesterday. With him being a free agent along with PFL or Bellator, was he in town maybe to discuss a business opportunity with One Championship or yourself?
I can't comment. I can just say Scott and I are friends, and you know, we've met a few times in different countries, and yeah, so we had him at Cage Side today with me and Henzo and the crew, and so yeah, but we'll see.
Okay, one other question for you, Chatri. President Awesome from Karate Combat made some disparaging remarks today about doing a hostile takeover of Singapore, wanting to basically push One Championship out of the way, something about bringing power back to the fighters. Do you have any comments on?
I didn't see that today. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Hello, my question is for Chatri.
Yeah.
Mikey Musumeci is currently in hospital after failing to make weight. What are your thoughts on Mikey's condition, and when do you think he's going to make a comeback?
I don't know, because he was doing this breathing exercise, a really deep breathing and really hard breathing, and he actually accidentally tore his lung. That's what he just messaged me like literally half an hour ago, and he's in the hospital. So in a way, I'm glad he didn't compete, because if he competed, the doctor said with a torn lung you can die, right? So he said, because earlier in the week, Mikey was hovering around 150 pounds, around that area, and then we asked him, hey, with Kate dropping out, what do you want to stay at catch weight at 150? Do you want to go down and defend your world title at 135? What do you want to do? He said, I want to defend my title at 135. And then a couple days later, he was hovering at about 140. So he felt he was very comfortable doing it. But somehow, he never takes electrolytes on his cut. But in this one time, I think a nutrition expert told Mikey to take electrolytes, and that affected his hydration levels. And that's why he missed weight. And then he kept on drinking water and breathing and doing all this crazy stuff to try to, shed weight, and yet maintain obviously the safe hydration levels and the weight requirements we have. And I guess he tore his lung, and so it just went from bad to worse at that point. And then he called me late last night saying, Chachi, I got to pull out, and of course I said, of course. And then he woke up this morning, went straight to the hospital, and he wasn't feeling well. So I don't know, because I'm not a doctor. I don't know if he's going to be out for months or weeks. I have no idea. But I mean, torn lung, it sounds serious, right?
Okay, we're gonna do a couple more questions for DJ and Liam, so we can get them out of here.
This question is for Liam, Brian Rogers, Denver Sports Betting. I just now learned, surprised that she retired. I want to say congrats on a great career, but I also wanted to compliment you and just say you made the choice to keep getting up. That was evident in your fight. You should be commended for that, and just congrats on a great career.
Yeah, I'll always get up if I get knocked down. Not working again, no. Is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
Oh, right. I'll always get up if I get knocked down. It's just that a few years ago, those shots wouldn't have put me down. I'd have walked through them. So that's the thing. I've got the heart in abundance still. It's just I haven't got the physical attributes that need to go with that. And if you can't take the damage, which you need to be able to take it as much as you can give it out, and I just can't anymore. So it's annoying really, because my heart wants to do this, but I don't want to be that guy who goes completely past his sell-by date and getting flattened by absolute wombles that wouldn't ever touch me in my prime. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want to embarrass myself like that.
And I have one question for Chatri. Chatri, congrats on your black belt.
Thank you.
Fun fact, me and Henzo have the same birthday. But with your lead sponsor being Fairtex and being inspired, I wanted to ask you, at this stage in the game, what inspires you?
Well, I'll say I'm still wearing the black belt that I don't think I was just telling DJ, apart from my family, I think this black belt is my greatest achievement in life. I'm not the most talented athlete, but I started in 2005 and got my blue belt in 2007 and kept grinding, and of course I was busy, I had injuries and stuff like that. And then the last 5 years I gave my all. I said, I'm going to train 5-6 times a week, no matter where I'm in the world. I'll just, I find, whatever the academy is in XYZ city. It was very hard, I'm a pretty busy guy, but I dedicate 2 hours, 5 to 6 days a week. And that's why I say it's my greatest achievement. It's my greatest achievement in life, full stop. I mean, apart from my family.
DJ Jordan Kurtz, the MMA Club at Mile High Sports. Just wanted to be curious, when it's all said and done, years down the way, when you're on the porch swing telling stories with the grandkids, how will you personally define your legacy?
I haven't thought about that.
I'll define it. GOAT.
Yeah. Hard worker. I've always, hard worker. Never. I'll probably say from what I've achieved in my sport of mixed martial arts, I would probably say I'm probably the easiest athlete to work with. I never failed a drug test. Every single time USADA came to me, I made it happen. Each time one championship called me, when they called me for the Rotang fight, you know, they called me one day and they're like, hey, we want you to fight Rotang. You want to fight for the world title? And I was like, to be honest with you guys, I'm flattered. Like, I don't care about being a world champion in Muay Thai, but I'll fight Rotang in you know, big ounce gloves. And I'm like, oh, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Okay, but we'll call you back. Then they called me back for the mixed rules fight. And I was like, okay, let's make it happen. I'll probably say I was probably the easiest guy to work with. And I would always, you know, do all my contracts and yeah, because there's a lot of guys who get to my status, you know, 8, 9 top defenses. And they're like, oh, I want this much money. And don't get me wrong, I did a little bit of that as well. But I always showed up and I fought. So I would say hard worker and a great athlete and a good student.
Last question here for DJ and Liam.
Hi, Gilbert from the Casuals MMA. Question for DJ. I have to ask, the internet wants to know, what's a tougher accomplishment, finishing on the top of the MMA world as a GOAT or completing Elden Ring?
You know what? I haven't even beat Elden Ring DLC yet, so that just tells you that I think Elden Ring's a little bit harder. But you know, it's just, I've been playing games since I was a kid, and yeah, no comment.
All right, that'll do it for DJ and Liam. Everyone give a quick round of applause.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll grapple one day. You're very welcome.
Yeah, I agree. If you were 10 years younger, you'd be up there, lighting it up.
All right, thank you, DJ and Liam.